unforgiving nature of boxing is that a lifetime of dedication offers no promise of reaching the summit. And should you ascend to those rare heights, your place is met with not certainty, but with skepticism. Your success attributed to fortune as much as to skill, and the demand to prove yourself never ceases. Once at the top, you become the hunted, surrounded by hungry challengers eager to claim what you have fought so hard for. In the end, when the roar of the crowds fades and the battles are behind you, you may find that you never truly paused to savor your victories. The journey swept you along so swiftly that the moment was long gone before you could even grasp it. In the revolving theater of boxing, one fighter seeks the spark of resurgence, striving to reclaim past glory, while the other hungers to etch their name indelibly among the elite. Both the former and younger champion are driven by the same fundamental desire to assert their place in the ever-shifting hierarchy of the sport. The ambitions intertwine within the endless ebb and flow of boxing's circle of life, but triumph and reinvention are perpetual, and every victory is but a fleeting moment in a relentless march of time. George Kambosos Jr. is a boxer puncher with a strong pressure fighting mentality, blending fast hands, aggressive combinations, and constant forward movement to press the action and push opponents out of their comfort zones. He employs quick in and out footwork to close the gap, frequently darting in with sharp jabs and overhand rights, then pivoting out. While his defensive skills aren't his main attributes, Kambosos relies on his offensive output to keep opponents on the defensive and is quick to capitalize on openings with rapid-fire combination. Renowned for his grit, stamina, and ability to excel at high-intensity exchanges, he thrives when the pace is fast and the pressure is on. However, his aggressive approach can sometimes make him susceptible to counters, and his tendency to overcommit in exchanges can be exploited by slick defensive boxers who are adept at controlling distance and tempo. Richardson Hitchens is a classic pure boxer, often labeled as an outboxer, whose style is grounded in technical precision, a sharp jab, and clean footwork. He excels at fighting from the outside, using his reach and quick reflexes to maintain distance, while sniping opponents with accurate straight shots. Defensively, Hitchens is slick and elusive, utilizing level changes, rolls, and lateral movement to slip punches, steering clear of harm's way. He approaches each fight with patience and methodical discipline, rarely rushing his offense, instead opting to systematically break down his opponents with calculated attacks and intelligent ring generalship. Although his approach is highly effective at neutralizing pressure and minimizing risk, he is sometimes critiqued for being overly cautious or having a low punch output, and tends to be less comfortable when drawn into close quarters exchanges. In boxing, a 6-inch reach advantage can redefine the entire landscape of the belt. A subtle yet profound difference, equivalent to a fist and a half's worth of extra space between opponents. In a sport where victory is often measured in inches, such an advantage, when applied with intelligence, can stretch the contest into a game of miles. Hitchens possessed not only this reach, but also possessed superior natural size. Compounding these physical gifts, Hitchens approached the bout with surgical precision. His disciplined use of the jab and calculated movement allowed him to dictate the distance, maintaining a safe buffer that allowed him the clarity to respond to Kambosos' point of attacks. And in doing so, he dictated the terms of engagement, proving that in boxing, the smallest edge, if harnessed correctly, can become an unbridgeable gap.
By Hitchens, man, it's such a beautiful jab, just popping it twice. Hitchens controlling the range, controlling the distance, and look, that's the right hand that I'm talking about.
At its purest form, simplicity can be the deadliest blade. Why complicate matters beyond necessity? Instead, stick to what works and force your opponent to find a solution. If they're unable to solve the puzzle before them, keep presenting it until they do. Hitchens exemplified this philosophy, maintaining range through the disciplined use of his jab, never throwing more than necessary. Hitchens timed it precisely for the moments when Kambosos hovered just outside the pocket.
Two guys right there, that right hook to the body.
Occasionally, Hitchens will alter his cadence, inviting Kambosos to step in before unloading the jab. This unpredictability disrupted Kambosos' rhythm, making it difficult for him to anticipate the point of attack. So preoccupied with closing the distance, Kambosos repeatedly found himself eating Hitchens' jab. Each time Hitchens landed, he'd take subtle steps back or angle away, just enough to reset range, yet always remaining close enough to fire again.
And then that straight right hand is just beautiful.
Defense is really sharp as well. One of Kambosos' best shots is kind of that jab that turns into a left.
And that's where the upper body movement that they're telling him that he needs. You know, he's going to keep his head in the same.
With dominant control of distance, Hitchens reduced Kambosos to few options. With Kambosos unable to cut off the ring, the threat of an inside fight vanished. Forced to operate from the outside, the smaller Kambosos was compelled to stepping in with his jab before further launching attacks. Unable to land his jab upstairs, Kambosos turned to the stab jab to the body, hoping to freeze Hitchens just long enough to set up his right hand.
He can, but the accuracy, the heft of those jabs.
This was where Hitchens found his timing. He stood his ground, inviting Kambosos to step in, then timed a sharp right cross over the top, a perfect antidote to Kambosos' stab jab to the body.
Lomachenko just went hard to the...
Hitchens was able to absorb the stab jab to the midsection without flinching, knowing Kambosos lacked the pop behind his punches. This is why Hitchens was able to absorb the stab jab and immediately ace it with his own right hand. The danger in his counter lay in Hitchens' ability to plant his feet, to maintain position and unload the right hand with full leverage, never sacrificing balance or power.
Jab and straight right hand. They're different fighters, but back comes Hitchens with 3 straight jabs. Hitchens just missing with...
This is the sweet science right here. Everything off that jab, right hand, right behind his shoulders. If he can double and triple his jab his way.
By the 4th round, it was pretty clear Kambosos had absolutely nothing to offer in terms of turning the fight around. He was reduced to landing just 14.8% of his total punches, while Hitchens looked every bit the sharpshooter, connecting with 205 punches at a remarkable 51% accuracy.
He's as sharp as it gets, guys. Look at beautiful 1-2, and this is what he's been doing.
On a rare occasions, Kambosos did manage to close the distance. Hitchens' defense remained airtight and elusive. There was simply nothing in Kambosos' arsenal that could penetrate it. Even the prospect of turning a fight into a brawl faded, as Hitchens' size and strength advantage proved insurmountable. Hitchens dictated every inch of the ring and never let the fight stray from his terms. What Hitchens did so well was maintain composure and discipline. He never allowed Kambosos to draw him into a brawl or disrupt his rhythm. By controlling the distance, timing his counters, and never overcommitting, Hitchens diffused every offensive attempt Kambosos made. He forced Kambosos to fight a fight that didn't suit him. One where he was always reaching, always reacting, and never able to set his feet or build momentum. In the end, it was Hitchens' controlled range, timing, and defensive awareness that rendered Kambosos completely ineffective and secured a dominant stoppage victory.
A mild confidence.
Beautiful shot. There you go. Right on the breadbasket. You could see
a couple of years ago right here in Madison Square Garden where Lomachenko...
Ferocious Kambosos with the right hands like that, not respecting the power. Body shot was still lingering around. Kambosos everything off that jab. It was the body shot. The pain from the body lingers. It's not going to go away. This fight's over because their man was outclassed tonight.
What a moment. What a...